Monday Night Wars podcast.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Monday Night Wars. It is September 22nd, 1997, and we are at the E-Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. E-Center sounds like a 90s tech company. Like, I bet money if I look up what what E-Center is, it's like sponsored by like a tech company. Maybe it's Enron.
Whoa.
Oh, that'd be crazy. They were Texas-based, though, so I don't think it's Enron. But like that just seems like a real 90s .com bubble tech company. What do? We don't know. But their market cap is huge.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's also like a lot of tech companies nowadays. Anyways, we start with the Nitro Girls. And Kimberly gives us all their names for once, which we don't. Yeah, she calls them out. And we get their names, and then they're dancing. And Wildcat Willie's kind of there too, off to the side.
Oh yeah.
I don't get why they have him still.
Just a waste of money.
Because they do. That's fair. You know, sometimes you say something, I'm like, I can't argue with that. That's the answer. That's the answer. Because Eric Bischoff could, and it's a waste of money because they don't use him. Like, it'd be fine if they used him, like, because they've got like cheerleaders. If they had like the mascot doing stuff with them too, that'd be.
I mean, I'm sure during like commercial breaks and stuff he does, but
yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Anyways, we got Tony, we got Larry, we got Mike Tenay, and Roddy Piper gonna make a big announcement tonight. But first, Eric Bischoff has some words for the living legend.
He does.
Larry Zbyszko. Yeah. He tells him, don't you ever interfere in the NWO's business again, or you will pay a huge price. What'd you make of this, Joseph?
Well, he also tells Larry the immortal words, "Bite me." Make sure to get that out there.
Yeah.
Zbyszko decides to show the footage of Bischoff being jackknifed last year. Bischoff leaves and Zbyszko cuts a scorched earth promo about Bischoff being a little pansy. I gave this a B. I enjoyed it.
He also tells Tony to be a man because Tony ran off last week.
Yeah.
Because he just couldn't handle everything that was going on. And Larry said, you stay here. You be a man. And I'm like, damn, I like this Larry Zbyszko.
And then Mach heard that and went, I got an album.
Yeah.
Album idea.
He started writing it. Yeah, he started writing
man,
it. He's like, What a CD.
Love it.
We've talked about that, right? We've talked about the fact that the Mach has a rap album.
Absolutely.
That you own.
I do own
that
it.
You own.
It's actually, if you can see right.
There it is.
Right
I see it. There it is. Bro, look at you doing the pointing better than I do it. I can't ever figure out which direction things are in this camera because everything's reversed.
Yeah.
But anyways, we got a match. We got Rey Mysterio Jr., who's going to try to kill himself yet again tonight because he puts his body on the line every single match. It doesn't matter who it's against. It could be against Eddie Guerrero at a pay-per-view, or it could be against Silver King on a normal Monday night. Ray's going to put his body on the line for 3 minutes and 30 seconds, Joseph. Tell me.
Yeah, Eddie Guerrero comes out to taunt and distract Rey. This is an overall fun match, and Mysterio continues his winning streak with a Rana win. The Rana, by the way, planted Silver King headfirst into the mat. That looked gnarly. Eddie then confronts Rey, who attacks him with a sunset senton. It's a lot of fun for an opener. It gets a B+ from me.
Yeah. And that we really just go right into our next match for the most part. And it's a big one, ladies and gentlemen, because we've got a debut.
Good thing, Scott.
Well, I gotta say, before I do the thing, I just gotta say this is a huge debut.
Yes.
So we're gonna do it a little big. We're gonna do it big today. We're gonna go, ah! That's how big this is. That's how big this is because this is dun 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 dun
Goldberg.
dun dun
Goldberg.
dun 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 dun. It's
Goldberg.
Goldberg. It is Goldberg. He is against Hugh Morris. It's 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah.
And it is the beginning of the streak. Although they don't know it's the streak yet.
Yes.
Go, Joseph, tell me.
I love Goldberg, and I don't care what y'all say. I could not give two shits. Goldberg kicks out of Morris's no laughing matter, which is huge. That tells us Goldberg is actually an impact player. Goldberg throws Morris around. He wins with the jackhammer, but he has not made the spear a thing just yet. The crowd immediately loves him and his intensity. They are hot for Goldberg, and they are right. I don't want your 5-star matches. I want 2 big, meaty men slapping meat, but also 5-star matches. I like those too. Anyways, Mean Gene interviews Goldberg, who nothings him and walks away. This is a pretty perfect debut. I gave it an A+.
Yeah, he's really already Goldberg.
The character's already there. Yep.
Yeah. He no-sells a bunch of stuff. He kicks out of the finisher. He's already got the jackhammer. He's really just a spear away from completing it.
Mm-hmm.
And as you said, or maybe you didn't say, but Mean Gene, I think you did say, Mean Gene wants a word with him.
Yeah, I did say that.
Our intrepid journalist, Mean Gene, wants a word with him, but Goldberg just says, nah.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't say anything, I guess I should
he just
say.
walks
He says
away.
nothing. He just walks away.
You said that you said that he's basically the spear away, and I would say he's really 2 big moves away, the spear and a lethal sidekick.
I see what you did there. Oh my God. I see what you did there. And we'll get into that eventually. After that, we got a New World Order segment where they're parodying their parody of the 4 Horsemen. So there's that. You got anything to say about this, Joseph?
No.
No.
I don't.
Well, because I know you want to keep moving because you want to talk about the Nitro Girls.
Absolutely.
Who are out to dance again. Send your videotapes in to 1 Ted Turner Drive, Ted Turner Center, Ted Turner, America. That's the address.
It is. Absolutely.
Send your tapes in.
Yeah.
Then we get a recap of Larry Zbyszko, who is not a ref. That's important. Given a fast count. People say it's a fast count. It's kind of fast. Because they accuse it of being the NWO are not happy because he's not a ref and it was a fast count. That's kind of the 2 big things they hammer on. Scott Hall at Fall Brawl. There seems to be some issue with Larry Zbyszko's actions at Fall Brawl. The NWO not pleased with it.
Mm-hmm.
But that brings us to our next match. And it is the champion, the WCW World Television Championship champion, Alex Wright, versus Disco Inferno.
Yep.
For 6 minutes and 50 seconds. Too long.
Yes.
For this match, I say. Tell me, Joseph.
Our boy loses to the least deserving person ever in Disco Inferno. He also wins this match in a completely sloppy double crossbody spot. And then, as if this couldn't get any worse for us, Jacqueline comes out to tell Disco that he's been dodging her and she wants to face him one-on-one. We've already talked about this in great length on the podcast, but just to sum up, in case you haven't heard it, the reason Disco got fired many moons ago was because he was actually supposed to put over Jacqueline. He said no, he wouldn't do the job. They said, you know what? I'm going to fire you. And then they brought him back a little bit later, and now they want him to do the job again. Anyways, this gets an F for me. I hate it.
They said, you can come back, but you got to do the job. You got to be a man and do the job. And he does it, I guess, eventually. Although he's not real happy about it. But Alex Wright loses the television title. and I don't care for it. I want Alex Wright to be the television title champion. I like Alex Wright. This is a shame. This is not good. We don't like it. After that, we get the Four Horsemen NWO segment again, because right before this match wasn't enough. We have to see it again, where they show their Four Horsemen parody segment and the NWO style yet again. Joseph, do you have any thoughts on it again?
No. I'm done. I'm over it.
There you go. That leads us to our next match, which is Scott Hall versus Hector Garza. And it's only 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Well, this has got to be a squash match for Scott Hall. Tell me about it, Joseph.
Hall conducts a survey. I think the first time that he's done this. He says, do people come here to see the WCW or the NWO? And then, which is kind of a weird place to do that because this WCW territory. Anyways, Hall taunts Zbyszko, calling him a washed up old school wrestler. Hall wants Lex Luger right now, not at Halloween Havoc, but Luger isn't here, which is objectively great to call someone out when they're not even in the building. I love it because then you can go, look, he's too scared of me, blah, blah, blah. It's fantastic. Hall's great. Hall challenges Zbyszko, who is down and comes to ringside. And then Zbyszko doesn't want to get double teamed because Hall does have 6 with him. And Hall calls him all bluff and no stuff. And then Hall finally faces Garza, who he beats. He kicks around referee Mark Curtis post-match and hits the outsider's edge on him. Hall does great work in this segment. I'm giving it a B+.
Yeah, but Hector Garza wins.
Does he?
Yes.
I don't remember that at all. That must be why he beat Mark Garza, Mark Curtis. That's the name I was looking for.
What happens is you're right. He you know, he's winning. He's stomping Garza, but then he starts bullying the ref for no good reason because Scott Hall, why not? And Garza gets a roll up, and Hall gets they get 1, 2, 3.
Gotcha.
It's done. Yeah,
Hall,
they fast count it
again. This goes back to Hall really understanding the game, right? Hall, so I'm sorry I messed that up that he won. But Hall doesn't need a victory here to stay relevant.
No.
So Garza gets a real quick win. He gets a little bit of a pop, and then Hall goes and does his stuff. Like, it's fine. It works perfectly.
Yeah, he gives Garza an outsider's edge for the insult. He gives Mark Curtis 1, 2. And then he asks Larry Zbyszko and he tells Larry Zbyszko to come. Why don't you also come get a razor's edge? Or I'm sorry, an outsider's edge, legally distinct.
Yes, absolutely.
And so yeah. So I kind of liked it because it was a swerve, right? I would have never thought that Hector Garza would get a win, but they did it in a good way where it's really because of Hall just being just an utter kind of bully, just full of himself. He got caught slipping, right? And so I thought that was kind of fun. Hour number 2, Tony, Bobby, Mike Tenay. And because we got Mike Tenay, it must mean we have a cruiserweight match. And in one corner, it's a 6-man tag. In one corner, we got La Parca, we got Psychosis, and we got some Villanos.
It's actually an 8-man tag.
4-man.
Yeah.
It's an 8-man tag. I was counting the Villanos as one unit because they are one unit.
Kind of, yeah.
They are, yeah. Villano 4 and 5. So it's an 8-man tag. La Parca, Psychosis, Villano 4 and 5 versus Ultimo Dragon, Cyclope, Lizmark Jr., and because I promised everyone last week that if we saw the man again, I would do a good one. Excuse me, hold on. There's the bug light.
Absolutely.
Juventud Gara. I'm stuck on the thing on the bottom of, the the slider so you can slide on carpet, the plastic thing. I got stuck on it. I could barely get back. Anyways, there it is. There's the match for 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Tell me about it.
Oh, man. Look, this is a fun match, but it's a lot of people in one match. And then Hoovy wins with what is essentially a victory roll pin. It's fun enough. I gave it a B.
So there you have it. After that, we've got Mean Gene. And he wants to talk with the WCW commissioner, Rowdy Roddy Piper. What does Rowdy have to tell us? What's the big news, Joseph? I got to know. What's the really big news?
Roddy Piper says it looks like we have some straightening out to do. He says Scott Hall cried after losing at Fall Brawl. He agrees with Scott Hall that Zbyszko wasn't an official at War Games, so he should not have been able to make that call, which, to be fair, is accurate. They've got a point.
True.
So this is what we're gonna do. You know why? Because I'm in charge, which he keeps saying, and I love it. Every time he says it, it's friggin' great. He announces that Luger will face Hall at Halloween Havoc, and Larry Zbyszko will be the special guest referee. He calls War Games brutal, saying Flair may be out for the rest of his career. Benoit may have a concussion. I'm not touching that one. WCW wants to ban cage matches, saying they're brutal, insane, and inhumane, which is why he will fight Hogan in one at Halloween Havoc. He says he will finish Hogan's career. He says the NWO may be for life, but Roddy Piper is forever. Gets an A. Roddy Piper is on fire here. Love the man. So good.
It's great. Roddy Piper is great at this. If only WCW could tell a good story.
Yes.
Because this is great.
They've got excellent storytellers and cannot tell a good story.
Yeah. Because they're going to botch all this. Anyways, that brings us to the highlight of the night. We've got the one. You better take some water because you're going to have to tell us a story here. We got the 1-800 Road Report with Mr. Lee Marshall. He's in Worcester, Massachusetts for next week's Nitro. Joseph, are there any weasels in Worcester, Massachusetts?
Well, we're going to have to find out, Scott. Worcester is the home of College of the Holy Cross and the birthplace of Dr. Robert H. Goddard, the father of U.S. rocketry. Also the home of Dr. Jeremiah Pigmead Heenan, the father of U.S. Weaseltree. Heenan says that if Paul Revere was alive today, he'd warn the people that Marshall is coming to town. And I laughed. It gets an A+ for me.
The back and forth is fantastic. Why don't at some point they're gonna get rid of these road reports, and Joseph and I are gonna scream. And it's soon.
Yeah, I think it's like next week.
Why did we not put Lee and Bobby together on commentary? Because they put Lee on, because Lee eventually goes to Thunder.
Yeah.
That's kind of where they put Lee. And I don't think Bobby goes with him. I think Bobby stays on Nitro. And it's just so good. Could you imagine those two guys on Thunder together? Just those two? Oh, I'd love it. I'd love it. I'd love it. But I also love the tag teams in our next match. Because we've got Rick Steiner and Scott Steiner of the Steiner Brothers, if you can believe it, versus Ming and Barbarian of the Faces of Fear. We got ourselves a slobber knocker for 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Tell me, Joseph.
This is 4 meaty men slapping meat, and the Steiners almost win, but Ming locks in the Tongan death grip on Rick Steiner, giving this one a C.
Oh.
Yeah, it was okay.
Wow. I liked it. It was big men slapping each other. And I was surprised that Faces of Fear won, because I did not expect it. I thought Steiner Brothers would win it, and they didn't. So I was pleasantly surprised. After that, we got Hollywood Hogan, and we got Eric Bischoff, and Hogan is wearing Ric Flair's robe. He's ripped the sleeves off, which I think is very appropriate for Hogan to do. It's now a sleeveless robe.
Mhm.
But I'm getting tired of Hogan promos.
Yes.
So tell me about it, Joseph.
He asks where is Sting, and then he just cuts a Hogan-style promo. Doesn't say anything important, gets a D from me.
Yep. Just says he's gonna beat Piper up when they fight. So there you go. Got it. Then we've got Macho Man Randy Savage versus Stevie Richards. What?
Yeah.
What are they doing to Mach, man? This is
Mhm.
like I like Stevie Richards. Stevie Richards goes on to have a good, fun career in WWF. I don't think Stevie Richards is a Mach caliber match right now, though. 3 minutes, 15 seconds. Tell me.
Well, Mach starts this with a promo saying, "I like it! Elizabeth, what do you think about the Diamond Dallas Page, aka DDP?" And Liz says DDP and everyone else is only walking in the Macho Man's shadow. She's kind of right. And then Mach
Mhm.
says, "Ooh, yeah, the NWO and the Madness are on a roll, and we're just too sweet. Ooh, yeah. I got a big present for the newest member of the NWO. A little later on, Kurt Hennig, remember that name. He's gonna get a big present from the Madness. Because, Elizabeth, I want you to walk down the aisle with Kurt Hennig. Because he got the Nature Boy Ric Flair so far out of Dodge, he's never coming back. Just like Diamond Dallas Page and Slim Jim's Halloween Havoc. Ooh, yeah. Great.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's
It's a good one.
fantastic. Also, I like that anytime he says Halloween Havoc, he always says Slim Jim's Halloween Havoc because, like, he is
Mhm.
getting paid by them, so he needs to. But it's just fantastic. Stevie ain't gonna win this one though. Mach wins with the elbow, and then Raven comes in and DDTs Stevie again. Whatever. I gave it a B overall because of Mach, but then the Raven stuff happened.
Yeah. Yeah, which again, we've talked about it. Doesn't make sense. I feel a sneeze coming on. Hold on. Please hold. All right, I'm back. And we've got our next match. We're back to our next match, which is Conan
Mm-hmm.
and Scott Norton
Mm-hmm.
versus Booker T and nobody. It's just Booker T.
See, this is the thing that you do. You blow the freaking surprise.
What? Why? It's
Okay, so it was supposed to be Harlem Heat versus them.
yeah.
And then Booker announces that Stevie has pulled his Achilles, so he cannot wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, "Look, this match can't happen." And he says he's more man than both Norton and Conan, and that Jackie is more man than Vincent, which made me chuckle. He challenges any one of them, and Norton calls him a crybaby who signed a tag team match, so he must wrestle a tag team. So now it's 2-on-1, which I actually think is pretty good from Norton. Then it becomes 3-on-1, and Nick Patrick DQs the NWO. Why though? Like we had a really cool idea. Then like it was already the numbers game. Why?
Yeah.
Gets a D for me.
Yeah, and I will say I looked it up because obviously Booker T not having Stevie Ray is obvious, right? He's wrestling alone, so he really did, I think, tear his Achilles. I don't think that's a lie. He does. He is suffering an injury. He is out. But I was like, why is Vicious and Delicious now Vicious and Bato? And so I looked that up, and apparently Buff Bagwell is wrestling in Japan right now, so that's
Ah,
why he's not there. So that explains both of those. And I feel like I didn't ruin it, brother. Brother, I handed you the keys. I said, "Where's Stevie Ray?" I gave you what you needed. I think it's bull that I ruin it. Fans of the pod, email and tell us whether or not we ruined it. If I ruined it, don't send us an email. If I didn't ruin it, send us an email. There we go. Nitro Girls. Can't ruin that though. Mm, 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 mm. And that leads to our main event for the US Championship. And it is Curt Hennig versus Jeff Jarrett. And as mentioned, Curt Hennig is joined by Miss Elizabeth, and Jeff Jarrett, as always, is with Deborah. 8 minutes, almost 9. Tell me about it, Joseph.
Like you said, Jarrett has Deborah and Hennig has Miss Elizabeth, so that seems fair. Jarrett gets Hennig in the figure 4. Liz distracts referee Randy Anderson. Mach hands the title to Hennig, who hits Jarrett with it to release the hold. He then hits the fisherman suplex for the win. The NWO come out to celebrate and beat up Jarrett. Giant eventually comes down, and the NWO hightail it. Okay, get to see for me.
Does this lead to a Jarrett Giant tag team run? No, it's not. There's nothing. It's just there. It just happened. Anyways, Madison Square Garden, New York City, New York. September 22nd, 1997. Raw. It's a big deal. They make a big deal. They have a big video montage to start about the WWF at Madison Square Garden. They often say it's their home. Madison Square Garden is WWF's home.
Yeah,
because they did a lot of shows there in the territory days. So anyways, we're at Madison Square Garden. It's a big deal. We got Vince, we got Jim, we got Jerry, and we've got a WWF Intercontinental title tournament quarterfinal match. They all are. Ahmed Johnson versus Rocky Maivia for 4 minutes and 56 seconds. Tell me, Joseph.
Yeah, so we're going to run through things that aren't super, super important because there's a lot of big things that happen on this show. This is one of the not super important things. Sergeant Slaughter kicks out the rest of the nation as he has been doing. Ahmed returns as a big surprise, so now he can feud with the nation again. Yay. We get a standard Ahmed match as he wins with the Pearl River Plunge. It gets a C from me.
All right, moving on. We've got, well, I guess they also mentioned that they're going to have Ahmed versus Farouk in the semifinals. So that's exciting, right? Those two guys going at it. But after that, we get a Steve Austin promo from the crowd, Joseph. Tell me.
Austin, like you said, is in the crowd, and he says, ain't no way you can have Monday Night Raw in New York City without Stone Cold Steve Austin. Tonight, someone's going to get their ass whipped, and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. This is all it was, but it was effective, and the crowd loved it. I'm giving it a B.
After that, which you mentioned, because there's a lot of important things to talk about that we got to dwell on, is one of our next ones. Floyd Patterson is in the audience.
Absolutely.
I looked him up because I was like, oh, he's a boxer. 55 wins, 8 losses, 1 draw. Not a bad career there for Floyd Patterson. So there you go. After that, we've got Vince with The Undertaker. Because they want to talk about Hell in a Cell. Our first Hell in a Cell, Joseph. Pretty exciting.
It is announced that whoever wins at Hell in a Cell will be the number 1 contender for the Survivor Series against whoever is the champion. It's going to be Bret Hart. We all know that. Also, kind of a notable pay-per-view. Anyways, Vin Man explains in detail how Hell in a Cell works. The ring is sealed off and no one can enter. The cage door is locked. This is an important note because technically Vin Man is correct. Undertaker says the day will soon be upon Bret Hart when the Reaper comes calling, but HBK's judgment day will come first. He says he will enjoy watching HBK burn in an eternal damnation, and then HBK's music hits, and he says, well, well, well. Then he dances. Now, is it my imagination, or is the World Wrestling Federation once again trying to give the Heartbreak Kid the shaft? First, you stick me in SummerSlam in a no-win situation as a special referee, and I do my job, and everybody comes down on HBK. Then you try and stick me in a match with The Undertaker in the hopes that he can bury me alive. Now you stick me in a cage with death itself, and then conveniently decide that after that, the winner of the match will get a shot at the WWF Championship. Why don't you just give him, meaning Taker, the WWF Championship match? I mean, just because I'm the only man in the World Wrestling Federation to hold every title in the World Wrestling Federation, you still got the nerve to ask me to earn it? You know who the hell I am? Deadman, I got news for you. Unless you are a real hot mama, which you ain't, I do not lay down for anybody. A great line. And the Heartbreak
Yes.
Kid is looking for a garden party, my friend, and HBK is in the house. And I got news for you, pal. At Hell in a Cell, the Heartbreak Kid is going to do what he always does, and that's be one step ahead of you, one step ahead of you to Vinman, and one step ahead of all of you, meaning the crowd. Undertaker at Hell in a Cell, I will bring the pain and Deadman. All you got to do is show up. Sean is great here. He gets an A from me.
It's a good one. And I should say that I missed, because you mentioned that he holds all the titles in the WWF, or he has held all the titles in WWF, and you say, wait, he hasn't held the European title. Well, before this segment, which I failed to mention, is that they showed a recap from One Night Only, and Sean is now our champion, European champion. And if you want to find out how he did that in a horrifying fashion, subscribe to the Patreon. We'll talk all about it. We talked about half an hour about that match by itself.
Yes.
When we were recording, we were at like 38 minutes, and I was like, oh man, it's gonna be a short one. And then we talked the full hour just about that, the full half hour about that match, because it is insane. After that, though, we got the Legion of Doom versus Farouk and Chameleon Mustafa. 2 minutes, 32 seconds. That's a short one.
Yes, fairly quickly, the Nation interfere and Ahmed runs out to back up Legion of Doom. The Nation still have the numbers and beat up Ahmed too. This gets a C for me because I'm not quite sure where it's going.
So there you go. And speaking of One Night Only, they're selling tapes already. They've already got tapes. You can buy them for $20 plus shipping and handling. Not a bad deal. It was a pretty good pay-per-view, despite the insane ending to that night. The Taker Bret Hart match was good. The Bret Hart, the Shawn Michaels Bulldog match was pretty good. It was not a bad night. So if you wanna watch it, go watch it, or listen to our Patreon where we talk all about it. After that, we got more Madison Square Garden moments. We got Jimmy Snuka flying off the top of a cage. We got all kinds of great, crazy stuff. So Madison Square Garden is the place to be. It's where the magic happens. And that leads us to our next match, which is another. I guess I should take it back. This is not another. This is a WWF Intercontinental Title Tournament semifinal match. We have left the quarterfinals and we have entered the semifinals for 7 minutes, 12 seconds. Owen Hart versus Brian Pillman with Marlena.
Pillman drags Marlena out, and she is now essentially in a bra and skirt. That's basically it. It's incredibly skimpy, and though she does look good, it is very cringy. So it's like, Pillman. Well, go ahead.
They want it to be cringy, right? Because she's also kind of uncomfortable. She's kind of got her arms around her waist and all that. Like she doesn't want to be in this dress. That's the point, right?
Well, it's not a dress. It's not a dress. That's what she doesn't. She wants to be in clothes.
Outfit. Yes.
But Pillman says that he has to forfeit, unfortunately, because he has a broken arm. He cannot wrestle this match. And Owen says, you got to do what you got to do. And I hate to accept. And then Slaughter grabs the mic and says, this is the first he's heard of this. He asks where the x-rays are or the doctor's report. And Pillman begins to make excuses. And then Slaughter says, think fast, and tosses the mic to Pillman, who catches it with his allegedly broken arm. Great spot. Sergeant Slaughter says the match will go on as scheduled, or Pillman will never wrestle for the World Wrestling Federation ever again. He's kind of right. Anyways, gang, the two men shake hands before the match. Goldust attacks Pillman, so Owen somehow wins, and Pillman gets DQ'd? Okay, that's weird. Pillman runs away with Marlena, and Owen gloats and dedicates his victory to his loving brother Brett. And then Austin attacks Owen. Cops try and arrest him, but Vin Man calls them off, which isn't really how the law works. But anyways, he asks Austin, what's the matter with him? He says, don't you understand he understands that he's upset, but don't break the law. He says you can't compete because you're physically not able to compete. He says you can wind up paralyzed, and the WWF won't let him do that to himself. These people don't want you to wind up in a wheelchair. He tells them he can wrestle in due time. He says, "Don't you know we all care about you?" And Austin seems taken aback and emotional. And Austin says, "You know as well as I do that this is what I do for a living. This is all that I do, and can't nobody tell I ain't the best in the damn world. Don't say nothing. Here, don't say nothing. Sit here and tell me to work within the system. You ain't the one sitting on your ass at the house like I am. But if that's what it takes to make you and the World Wrestling Federation happy, I'll be like Cool Hand Luke. I'll work within your stupid little system. I appreciate the fact that you and the World Wrestling Federation care. And I also appreciate the fact that, hell, you could kiss my ass." And then Austin delivers the first of many stone cold stunners to Vincent Kennedy McMahon, who sells it
Yes.
worse than anybody else.
Yeah. It's not
Austin
good.
gets arrested as the crowd chants his name, and this gets an A+.
And this is as he's being hauled away with his hands handcuffed behind his back, he gives Vince the double birds, which we love. It's so good. It's so good. Handcuffs behind his back, double birds. That was great. We love it. Dick Bulldog Brower's dead.
Just the way you said that. Just the way you said that.
That's next, because they do a little memorial to Dick the Bulldog Brower, who was an American professional wrestler, and he wrestled from 58 to 88, so quite a lengthy career there. But rest in peace, Bulldog Brower. Hour number 2. Vince is here. He's alive. Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler. And Jim Ross says that he's not leaving the commentary table. He is not getting up, because when they get up, they get hurt. So Jim Ross ain't leaving the commentary table anymore, which I kind of enjoyed. He's like, no, it's not safe outside of the protection of the commentary table. And it's good. It's good. After that, I guess first of all, they show Vince getting stunned from like 40 different angles.
Yes.
Which is funny. Like, and from here, and from here, and from here, and from here. Vince is not a real fan of them showing him getting stunned over and over again. But then we get a moment, Joseph. Don't we get a moment? Because
we do.
Yeah. Because our next match, I guess, should I set up our next match?
Go for it.
Just so, because it all kind of leads into it.
Yes.
We've got a Falls Count Anywhere match with Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus Dude Love.
Absolutely. And that's an important distinction. It is Dude Love. But then Hunter comes out normal way, and then Dude Love appears on the Titantron, and he calls China Finer China, which makes me laugh every time he says it. And then he says, "You're probably wondering why I'm back here instead of out there kicking some heavy duty booty." Love says Falls Count Anywhere isn't his bag, but he knows someone whose bag it is, and he calls this man a kind man. Mankind joins Dude Love on the Titantron, which is amazing. And they're like high-fiving, and they're just like talking to each other back and forth. And Mankind says, as much as he dreamed about destroying Hunter, he knows someone who dreams about him even more and is willing to do worse things than he is. Cactus Jack is back, and Cactus Jack appears on the Titantron with the other two and tells Hunter it's his darkest day, and arrives as Hunter sells this like it is the worst thing that has ever happened to him in his life. It's fantastic. The fact that Hunter plays this straight is absolutely perfect. It is perfect. we get a Falls Count Anywhere match, and it's really just one that I strongly recommend you watch. I think it is a fantastic match and worth it. The fact that this is a standard Monday Night Raw over what Nitro is putting on
Yeah.
is wild. And let me be clear here, it's not because it's a Falls Count Anywhere match, it's because the
Yes.
storytelling is compelling and the characters
Yes.
are compelling. Cactus Jack wins this when he pile drives Hunter through a table on the stage. Gnarly, very fun
Yes.
match. Gets an A+ from me.
It's that stump puller pile drive that Mick
Mhm.
Foley does. That just looks so gnarly. Yeah, this whole segment is fantastic. I'm gonna tell you right now that I give it to WWF this week because of this, because
Yeah.
of this whole thing.
Yeah.
This is so good. Yeah, the Dude Love, Falls Count Anywhere isn't really his bag, man. And
Yeah.
then the Mankind split screen with them, and then Cactus Jack, they're all three Face of Foley are talking. Cactus Jack's music hits. He comes out. He's got the trash can full of weapons.
Down.
We love it. It's so good.
Down. Yeah,
It's
it's great.
so good. A huge ECW chant erupts.
Oh, yeah.
Like the crowd goes wild.
Yes.
Wild. It is a fantastic match. It is one that is worth watching. This is like one of the first shots in the Attitude Era right here, this match. It's a fun match. It's good. But is it as good as Karate Fighters? WWF Survivor Series Super Sweepstakes. They're
Probably not.
gonna do something. They're gonna give you something. I don't remember what it is, but apparently there's a sweepstakes. So there you go. After that, we've got another Madison Square Garden moment. They got Andre the Giant. He
Mhm.
slams, I looked it up, Big John Studd. I didn't know who that was, but
Oh,
apparently that's a
really?
big moment in Madison Garden. Yeah. Apparently that's a big moment in Madison Garden history. Um, I Someone pointed out, I often research these things, look at these things. Someone noted that Bobby Heenan was Andre's manager at that time, and they cut it right before it goes to Bobby there. They just quick cut right
Oh,
there,
gotcha.
that shot, which I thought was interesting.
Big John Studd
After
actually
that,
notably, I believe, yeah, I haven't fact checked this, but I'm pretty sure this is what happened. Big John Studd, Andre did not like. Andre was very
oh,
particular about Andre's character. And though there are many people who could have lifted and body slammed Andre, he only let certain people do it when it called for it. And Big John Studd, I believe, decided to do it without his like say so, or he wanted to do it really
mhm,
badly and kept trying to convince him. And Andre was like, no, I go over. Like he just like shut him down. No.
yeah. Yeah, I didn't know who he was, so that's why I looked it up, and that's where I found someone commented, and the thing I was looking at, like, who was this? And it said, and then they mentioned that right after that, Bobby Heenan grabs, like, a money bag, and they just
Mhm.
completely cut that part out, just quick cut it. I thought that was kind of funny because they're both sides are just so petty in this thing. Anyways, we got Shawn Michaels out here, the new European champion, and he wants to talk to Taker. Joseph, tell me about this. What's going on?
HBK tells us the story of how he became the one and only Grand Slam winner. But before he does, he tells
Mhm.
Undertaker he wants Taker to bring his dead ass out there. Taker starts to come out.
Mm.
Hunter, Rick Rude, and China help Sean gang up on him. Odd that this is right after Hunter basically just died. I think that doesn't really make any sense. This would have worked better in the
Yeah.
beginning of the night, but whatever. I gave this a C. I wasn't actually in love with this segment.
See, I think what would have been funny is if the idea was to bring Taker out to jump him, and then Sean's like, trying to get them all out, and like Hunter comes out just like bandaged up, and he's like, I can't. And Sean's like, oh, I've made a mistake here.
Right.
Like, like I didn't think this one through. But then you can have Rick Rude and China come out and, kind of help anyways. But like, yeah, I agree that they should have played up the fact that Hunter is banged up and he really can't help right now. So Sean's trickery may not work this time. So there you go. After that, we've got our main event. we got Bret Hart versus Gold Dust for 12 minutes and 50 seconds.
Bret actually gets a mic and cuts a promo where he says he doesn't give a crap who wins between HBK and Taker. He calls both out, saying he isn't scared of Taker and that Shawn's days are numbered. And we're going to have a lot to talk about on this in a second. I'm going to go through the match and then I'm going to tell you something that happened earlier in the night. Bret is vacant for this match, and you'll find out why soon. Jim Ross actually gets mad at Jerry for all the Marlena comments because they are so overtly gross. Like, he actually genuinely gets mad on the mic, and Jerry is just laughing about it. Shawn eventually shows up on stage, dancing around and being cheeky. Bret eventually locks in the sharpshooter for the win, and he holds it well after the bell until Shawn attacks him. The one time Bret shows life is when he starts swinging at Shawn, which is hilarious, and again, we'll go into. Hunter helps Shawn, then Owen and Bulldog come out. Rick Rude joins, and Jim Neidhart comes out. And then The Undertaker joins the fray, and he clears house, and then double choke slams HBK and the Hitman as the show closes, which honestly, I really liked that. The match itself isn't very good. Bret's actually not very good in the match, which is surprising because it's Bret. He's on autopilot on this match, so I'm giving the match a C. But why is Bret on autopilot? Well, I'm going to tell you. Vin Man told Bret before this show that he could not honor his contract and he would have to let him go. 2 days later, this is a quote from Bret Hart's book. 2 days later, on September 22nd at Raw in Madison Square Garden, I was summoned to Vince's office for a private chat. He rocked me with the news that he wasn't just thinking of breaching the terms of my contract, but was actually going to do it. In the weeks ahead, he wasn't going to pay me my full salary because of the problems he attributed to Ted Turner. He told me that I was the Cal Ripken of the WWF and that he fully intended to pay me what he owed me on the back end of my 20-year deal instead. You'll still get every penny, he declared. In a fatherly tone, he then confided, I have no problem if you want to see if WCW will make you that same deal as before. I hear that Hogan is finishing up there soon. Your timing couldn't be more perfect. He went on to say that if I left, I would actually be doing him a favor because he was about to downsize into a northeastern U.S. promotion. Because of my 14 years of loyal service, he said he wanted to give me the opportunity to be able to approach WCW before everyone else did, since he'd be letting a lot of wrestlers go. He described me as the first guy in the lifeboat. You don't even have to drop the belt if you don't want to. You hold all the cards. He even said that he would secretly help me negotiate my deal if I wanted. His final words to me were that he'd see whether he could find the money somewhere to pay me. But for now, I shouldn't breathe a word to anybody. If the news leaked out that Vince was in trouble, it would hurt my chances with Bischoff. Hurt my chances? I was so stunned by how many promises he broke in one short conversation that I didn't know what to reply with. Absolutely shell-shocking news for Bret Hart on this day. He is being told you're getting let go. This is the final nail in the coffin. It is going to set all this everything in motion for Survivor Series and what we will definitely be talking about at length. But this is the moment that really changes the tide for WWF and kind of changes the tide for WCW. You could argue that this moment led to the downfall of WCW and the success of WWF. I'm not blaming Bret Hart for the downfall. I'm saying this moment had rippling effects in it, to be clear. It's not Bret Hart's fault that WCW failed. But he plays an integral part in what I think is the worst mistake in the history of WCW and the mistake that seals their fate. Genuinely does. It's not his choice to play that part, but he does play the part. And WWF, because of the lasting effects of what happens with this man, ends up having the biggest boom in their history. So this one moment right here just changed the game for everybody. It's not just Bret Hart. It changed the game for both companies. It is wild. And you can see it if you watch this match, and I kind of encourage you to go watch this match. You can see he is on autopilot. Sadly, Bret Hart's autopilot is way better than most wrestlers, but he is on autopilot the entire time.
Is it my turn? Because you seem like you just kind of ended there, and you just like, I'm done. Mic off. Anyways, yeah, the match is not a great one. Uh, and I feel like Goldust, I guess, gets maybe some more sympathy because he's lost and he holds. I mean, because Brett holds the sharpshooter way too long, but it's really about he and Sean and this rivalry. It ends up being a DX, proto DX Heart Foundation kind of battle at the end. Is Jim Neidhart's back? We haven't seen him in a while, and he's here. He's here for this, so we got that going for us. Um, and then they get double choke slammed, and they're done. But as you said, it's kind of the beginning of the end, right? Because this will lead us to Montreal, and then Brett will go over to WCW and be involved in the worst storyline we have ever seen. I mean, worst storyline we've ever seen yet. There's other bad storylines, but it is the one that it's not just us saying this. A lot of people agree that what happens in Bret Hart's first storyline is the beginning of the end of WCW. It's when they jump the shark. It's all downhill from there. It's only a month or two, maybe 3,
I think
where
it's
they start
April. I
losing.
think it's April when they finally start losing.
Yeah, so
But
4.
it's close. It starts getting real close within about a
Yeah.
month. Yeah.
So it's like 4 months from the event that we're gonna talk about at Starrcade. So Patreon subscribers, pay up. We're gonna talk about it at Starrcade, where they really lose, and then by April they've lost the ratings battle and it's over.
Yeah.
So tune in, like, comment, subscribe. It's $2 a month for the Patreon, $1 for Joseph, $1 for me. It's feeding our families. So thank you so much to our Patreon subscribers. And if you would like to feed our families, it's only $2 a month. Oh, and you get some award-winning content. We have
Absolutely.
won no awards. We have won no awards. I just
Well,
want to make that clear.
If we make the awards, it's still awards.
That's true. They're kind of like Slammies. We're going to make them some Slammies and give them to ourselves. There you go. I like it.
Absolutely.
We're going to create our own awards show and award ourselves the awards.
I think it works. Yeah. I mean, that's what WWF does. They make their own awards and then award it to themselves.
And we love it.
Absolutely.
And we love it. No, fans vote on that.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. Who won? It's WWF.
WWF. Yeah. They won.
Yeah. There's a lot of important storylines happening here. That Cactus Jack Hunter Hearst Helmsley match is fantastic. And again, like you said, not just because of the match, but because of the storytelling that went into the match. It's so good. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I loved it. It wins on that alone for me. It was so good.
Oh, I agree. Absolutely.
Yep. All right. I think we're done.
Right on.
Bye.
Bye, guys.